Yo, 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 welcome to another edition of the Geeky Bros podcast. I'm your boy Tactics.
Yo, it's just Darcy here.
This is BK Kumar. How y'all doing today?
Doing well. Doing well.
Well, excited for what's on the panel for today, man.
We got a good agenda this week.
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we just jump right into it?
Let's do it.
100%. 100%.
All right, okay, let's do this. All right, so the first bit, we're going to go our classic style and talk about the geeky news of this past week. Now, let's say that probably not the most exciting news for, the Geeky Bros, because like we have clearly been talking about our dissatisfaction with DC. Nonetheless, DC Fandome is upon us. It will be on, I think, October 16th, right? And we have gotten our first trailer for it, and also quite a few announcements and some lists of sorrow. I'm just going to jump ahead and say I'm gonna take a page out of my brother Tactics and say I don't give a fuck. Like, I've actually gotten to that point that I don't care. I never thought that would happen. I'm actually kind of sad that I'm at this point. It's kind of like one of those things, like you grow up and you realize like the magic is gone. The magic has left DC and Warner Brothers for me, and so therefore DC Fandome number 2. Yeah, I just don't give a shit. But I would really hope that you guys still have the magic. So Darcy, what about you, bro? What do you think about DC Fandome that's coming out?
I'm gonna take a page out of my boy Kendrick Lamar's book. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a to be honest, I mean I just said it. But to be honest, the fact, think of this. I was just thinking while you were talking. DC Fandome last year announces the Batman. We get teaser. This year, we're just gonna get another teaser. Like we waited a year for the second teaser. Like I'm just putting it. Nah, respect pandemic and all that stuff, but yeah, like we gotta see more. Like the only things I'm interested at all about is the Batman. Is this gonna be good? Because I'm starting to get on the train that it might be good again. I don't care for it, but I want to see what's going on with the Flash because, oh my God, we've been hearing about this for longer than forever. And, Batman's supposed to be in it, so I want to see that. I hope for some good Superman and Lois news. I'm not like exactly like on my heels for it, but I want to, I just look forward to more of that show in general, right? Yeah. But I can not have fandom and just wait for whatever. I want to see more of what's going to happen with what's his name up there? John Cena's character. And was that
Peacemaker?
Yeah. I mean, I know that's going to be good. I know it's going to be fun. I like hands down. I'm a big fan for Doom Patrol. I'm watching it right now, but do I care about Fandome? Not at all. I don't care at all for this event. Like and also Shazam, or not Shazam.
Shazam.
No, not Shazam. I don't care shit about Shazam. No, Aquaman either. The Rock. What he's playing.
Black Adam.
Black Adam. Yeah, like the first little clip of his face, like of him moving in live action for this film they showed, looked like just The Rock showing up to like a press conference. And I hope that's actually what the clip was, because it did not look at all like a shot from a movie that's about a superhero. I'm like, and I get it was just his head. I get that that would look pretty much normal, but I don't know. He just looked like he had this normal charisma, and I'm like, I don't want normal charisma. This is not a normal charisma movie. This isn't Rampage. This isn't like him and Kevin Hart doing a little thing that makes some money. Like, I don't know. The magic is gone. I just want certain things to be good and hopefully bring the magic back. But half of the stuff on the screen right now is just annoying. Is Harley Quinn TV show? No, it's not even on here. Go fuck them. Go fuck them.
How about you, T? What are your thoughts for the upcoming DC Fandom or the things that were announced or might have a trailer?
I didn't even know about this until you posted it in our WhatsApp group. To be honest, bro, I have not been paying attention at all to this shit. It was very disappointing, minus the Batman trailer that we got last year. One thing I do have to note though is I'm super surprised that Batwoman is still standing. She's like a fucking She's like the fucking T-1000. No matter how many times you shoot at her, she just keeps coming back. Like I thought this thing got canceled a long time ago because no one's talking about it, rightfully so, because it is a terrible show. But hey man, good on them for for staying strong despite its the shitty property. But that other than that, I mean, I'm excited for Flash. I'm hoping that we see some new footage, any footage at this point, because we haven't seen anything, like Darcy said. um I heard that we're gonna get some new footage from the Batman, but probably not a whole lot, considering that we're still months away from the actual release. Other than that, everything else, I'm like, Shazam. Yeah, so Shazam was cool. I'm not super like excited to see it. Obviously, I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not jumping for joy in the anticipation for it. Superman and Lois, yeah, that was cool. I like that. Aquaman, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Peacemaker, really don't care. I don't have a game console, so the new DC property games doesn't do anything for me. Why is Supergirl still on there? Isn't she done, or she got one more in the tank?
Maybe they're going to do a crossover event.
Oh, geez. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, y'all pretty much said it, man. The DC isn't really giving us much to work with in terms of building up our anticipation like Marvel has. And I think Umar, you mentioned this a while back, or maybe it was Darcy, how they're desperately trying to catch up to Marvel, and they're rushing a lot of their shit when they need to just take their time and build their properties properly, like Marvel did, like individual movies, and then work from that, build off of that hype. Because I forget what video I was watching, but they made a really good point in the sense of like Justice League should have done way better than it did, considering it's the Justice League. You have the mecca of superheroes in that franchise. Let alone the Trinity, like the Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. That alone should have been a big enough draw, and it just didn't pull enough numbers. So DC as a whole has been very disappointing, and I'm a DC guy, but with what the MCU has been doing, man, it's converting me, man. I want in reality, I want them all to win. I want both these companies to win, and properties to come out and come on top. But yeah, man, DC has not been doing too well in terms of the movies. So yeah,
amen, brother. Like, because honestly, like the so far the few trailers, the only trailer I'm looking forward to is for the Batman. Now it could be a small one or it could be a big one, no matter what. We've also learned that the Batman has also already been greenlit for a second film, like a sequel. And I'm just like,
oh shit, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, well, I don't know why, but nonetheless, here we are.
What do you mean you don't know why?
Because I'm with Darcy on this one. Like, when I first saw the trailer, I was like, yo, this is gonna be good. And then the rest of the year has gone by, and I'm like, I'm not sure anymore. Now Darcy's more of a hopeful than I am.
Wait, what has you saying that? Like, what's your
the fact that they've had to do reshoots, and
the fact but that's every movie. Almost every movie has to do reshoots.
But also like the issues with Rotten Pattinson, and also potentially that he's now been made.
Yeah, but were those confirmed? Were all of those actually accurate? Did they actually happen the way it was said?
Yeah. PX. The one thing I gotta say about that is that, like, so all those rumors have definitely downed my excitement over the last year, but recently the positive news that's been coming out, the fact it's greenlit for a second movie, that the fact that Robert Pattinson's still around makes me kind of feel like I'm hoping that a lot of that stuff was just BS and people just trying to make their pandemic more interesting by being the source of a fake rumor. And that maybe, like everything is actually really good, because if it is, that movie has a real chance of being, what's his name is saying, Andy Serkis was saying it's a masterpiece, but he's in the film, so what great assault. But hopefully it is, because why wouldn't we want a masterpiece Batman, especially detective-based version that spawns into multiple films and has love and passion behind it? And hopefully, the thing that pisses me off is like this movie looks like it's gonna be amazing, and it looks like like it could do all these great things, right? And let's say it does, but it's just they're gonna have like a fractured multiverse that is not interconnected. And it's not that I want them to be MCU. I don't actually want them to be MCU. I just don't want to be like, one day I'm showing up to watch this film, and another day I won't show up to watch another film, and they're just so wildly different that like, unless they're all like Oscar level films, then it's gonna feel like you're just gonna get like excited for one thing, and then you're gonna have to like learn something that's completely different, and then go over here watch something that's completely a different vibe, and you're just gonna feel like, yeah, these are all cool films. I wish, like, I like this actor, but they can never show up on the screen together because they're not connected in any kind of way. It's like, it's not that I want them to do what Marvel's done. I just want to be able to be like, this actor and this character, they're so dope. Man, oh, imagine if these two people and this person, oh, that'd be sick. But if they're all fractured in completely different stories that have completely different tones and purposes, then I'm like, well, that can happen.
But here's the thing. I feel like they can either double down on whatever property is working the best. So like, for example, if because the Matt Reeves the Batman is kind of its own separate universe. It's separate from what we're going to be seeing in the Flash and Aquaman. That none of them are linked. So
we don't know.
Well, yeah, for the time being, that's what they said. They said that it's its own separate thing. It's not actually attached. But with this whole Flash movie, they could always course correct that and kind of retcon a lot of the stuff that they've already built up to, and kind of interweave it into this movie. Or if, let's say, for example, they don't want to go that route and they just focus on this universe, starting with the Batman, similar to how the MCU did with
Iron Man,
right? And then they build off of that, and they start their own thing again, because the DC as a whole needs a resurgence. It needs to be rebooted essentially and start fresh. And if Matt Reeves is the guy to do it, to like kind of set a new tone, a new standard for these movies, then we could get something on the same level with like a new Wonder Woman and a new Aquaman and a new Superman even, right? So I don't see this as a bad thing. I see this as a potential, like, if they play their cards right, and studio executives don't kind of
overstretch,
get involved and like fuck things up, then I think that they could potentially be in a good place. Because what we're hearing from the Batman, they're comparing it to the movie Seven, which anyone who's seen Seven, that's a phenomenal movie. So if it's anything of that caliber, and then you got the Batman essence sprinkled into that, man, I think this movie is going to be fire.
I'm with you on all that. Sorry, I have a point I gotta get here. Yeah. I'm with you on that, but my worry is this: it doesn't matter. Like, if you want to use the Flash and rewrite all this stuff, you better have been playing this for the last like 2 years at how you're going to do it. Because if they're waiting to find out, like, we're going to put the Flash out and we're going to put out the premise of the multiverse, right? Or whatever you want to call it. And then you're going to be like, we're going to drop the Batman and we're going to drop this and we're going to drop that. And then whatever the people like the most, we'll double down on. That means that like all the stories and all the writing and how you interconnect it will just be like, it'll be fragmented for the next 2-3 years, and then they won't get to where they need to go. They have to plan for that kind of story beats. You can't just wait for the audience reaction and then do it. And that's my fear. It's that they'll just wait for the audience reaction and then start trying to course correct, but still have like 4 or 5 movies that are coming out that don't go in that course correction, and it just pisses off before they can even get there.
Then I say fuck Flash, and then just start fresh with the Batman and build up like how they did with Iron Man. And then, but I agree with you, like, have a plan, like have a 10-year plan for how you want the entire universe to build and unfold over time, and like even setting up your villains similar to how they did with Thanos.
Yeah.
So I would say, like, first of all, just getting a comment from Maybot over here. She's saying, I think in regards to what you were talking about, tactics for the Batman, about how it's like connected to the set to Seven, or like how it's being compared. She's saying, give me horror and grim desperation. 100%. Like,
yep.
My wants and hopes for the Batman are high. With Matt Reeves, I believed we could get there. Now, I have lost faith due to the rumors, and I'm going to say rumors because you're right, T. None of it's been confirmed. However, given DC's track record, I have a hard time having faith anymore, and that could just be my personal issue. But in terms of like with the Flash, I kind of I agree with both of you. Like if the Flash, because we know that Ben Affleck is going to be in the Flash as Batman. We know that Michael Keaton's going to be Batman in the Flash also. So clearly they're going to do some level of a multiverse, and hopefully it will be used to kind of do what Loki did and say, okay, we are no longer doing one storyline. We're going to branch out and alter these different realities. And if they go about the way of like each episode, like kind of what they did for the What If series, if each of the movies for Warner Brothers and DC have their own unique storylines that they're doing on their own, and then a couple years down the line, either if they do it like ad hoc or if they do it as a plan, I personally would prefer a plan because we know that ad hoc didn't work for Star Wars. So like let's not do that. So let's plan it out. Just 5 years, 10 years, hell, 2 years, like you guys are saying. Let's plan this shit out, and like, can we just have us all bring in all the different segments in a realistic, understandable, and good storyline, and build it to something, and then make it to the next tier? We also got another comment from Nudge. I think as long as they make money, Warner Brothers don't care.
That's the facts right there. That is the fact.
Yeah.
I was thinking that when I was seeing the picture of all of the different like the fandom with all the different characters, is it like I look at all of that and I see they're making money in all these different places,
Yeah.
and it justifies doing things that piss people off, and it's frustrating. Like their movies bomb, but then they make money on this show and they make money over here. And you can make money if you make the right deals, right? You make the right toy deals, you make the right this, make the right that, but it will be critically hated.
Yeah.
And it won't. And the thing is, they could turn a profit, right? They could say, well, we invested 5 million into this show and we made 6.5. That put us ahead, right? But that show should have made 10, 15. But they're making a profit, so they're just moving in that direction. And like Taxi said, Justice League should have been Avengers level numbers. Like there's just no reason why it shouldn't have been. If it was good, which it wasn't, so it did crap numbers.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make any sense. It's like James Bond showing up and getting like, I don't know, Get Out money. Like it's just not Get Out made money, but it's not James Bond level box office numbers,
Yeah. We also got another a comment from Maybot. Bro, preparation is key to success.
Facts.
I guess Maybot, I think success is what is being debated right now in terms of like the execs at Warner Brothers. They're like, we got money. Everyone else is like, we want quality. And like quality in acting, quality in story. I can count as many people on one hand who actually enjoyed critically like the entire Snyderverse. So for me, you're right. I want the right kind of success. We got some comments. So Nudge, I'm hoping Disney not paying creatives will cause a migration to Warner Brothers and DC. Well, Scarlett Johansson has been offered something rumored. So who knows? Maybe she'll be the new Zatanna of the DC universe.
Interesting. I don't think Zatanna, but yeah, but interesting.
Or Hawkgirl or Poison Ivy or
Poison Ivy. No, I'm not saying she should be. It's just you put me down. You put me down the wrong path with that one.
Nonetheless, like we all want DC, and we like, kind of going back to what Tactics says in the beginning. DC has the characters. Like Marvel made like their characters important and made them memorable. But before Iron Man or Avengers or any of the Phase 1 movies came out, aside from Captain America, not many people knew about the other ones. Sony and Fox have the main names of Marvel. DC has all their characters, every last one of them. And like we're fucking it up. Sorry, they're fucking it up. So I've had my heart broken too much now, and like I'm just afraid to believe anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Like WB has the money properties, and that's why people keep showing up. But at what point does screwing it up get to the level where people won't come back, and it takes them so long to come back that WB just puts out good films? Like, let's say they get there, like they go, oh, we're not making money, let's invest in the quality. Then they do the quality, and people don't show up for like years because they're like, I'm done. You know, like
Yeah,
that could happen with the hardcore people. Obviously, you can get random people to show up if it looks cool, but I don't know. I'm done with WB.
Yeah, I like Maybot's comment. We jaded out here. We're all people who've had our heart broken. So we just see the world as a dark place now.
Yeah, thank you, WB.
T, any last words before we move on?
Nah, I'm good. Let's move on.
Okay, moving on. So our next topic is going to be discussing some rumors we've been hearing about Daredevil. Now we know that Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock and or Daredevil may show up in the upcoming Spider-Man No Way Home. What we have been hearing, however, is that there are rumors that the character Echo is going to get her own series, and in the series, we may actually get quite a few members of the Daredevil cast back from the Netflix series. Now, again, these are all...
Oh, sorry, wrong Echo. My bad.
Oh, that was good. Oh, that was good.
I was like, Dolphin?
Oh wait, that's not the one either. My bad. I'm fucking up right now. Hold on. There it is.
Who is Echo? Oh, that was classic. I like that. Good job.
We all knew that laugh after, especially us going down a dark path in terms of Warner Brothers. But anyway, so the rumors are that Daredevil cast members from the Netflix series are going to be being resuscitated in the MCU. Kevin Feige wasn't a fan of the Netflix Marvel shows.
What?
And to be fair, to be fair, we had success with Daredevil, yes.
And the Punisher.
I didn't even watch the second season, to be honest, and I barely got through the first season.
Punisher was good, man. I liked Punisher.
Luke Cage was all right.
It had moments, and it had bland, and it was bland, but it had moments.
Jessica Jones was really good, and then kind of tapered off. And I think that's all that ever happened with Netflix. There was nothing, no other television series.
I will not disagree with you. That's where my memory ends right there. Reluctantly trying to forget 2 seasons of another friggin' dumbass show where the main actor would not train.
Oh my god! Anyway, so with the character Echo getting her own series, because I think she's going to appear in the Hawkeye television series. So that's just one more reason for us to watch the Hawkeye series.
Who the fuck is Echo? Who is this person?
And who put hands on her like that? Damn! That is a palm.
I believe, if I'm correct, she is Ronin, or she's the most recent Ronin in the
Michelangelo. Oh shit, bro! Finally turned Cuban. Good for him.
You got all of them all set up for this one, don't you? You're just like, I'm gonna fuck with Umar when he talks about this.
That's trans species. That is a good change. That's all I'm saying. That is a good change. I need to know who your doctor and plastic surgeons are.
That's the true secret of the ooze, man.
Oh man.
So anyway, so Echo is she's Ronin in the comics, and I think she was the daughter of Kingpin.
See how I set that up perfectly? Woo! I'm on fire tonight, bro. I didn't even know you were gonna say that.
This is why you're the producer. But anyway, yeah. So we they're going to do a TV series, and since I think they're going to include Kingpin, which means Vincent D'Onofrio might come back as Kingpin.
Oh, thank God! I fucking love him.
Yeah.
Which also means that we will be seeing our beloved Matt Murdock again, hopefully.
Thank God. I mean, that's like, yeah. Just my personal hope is that everybody but the Iron Fist comes back. Like literally, even people from his show, just not him. I just want that statement to be made where it's like, we get what's her name back from Iron Fist. We get other people back. Like Luke Cage could be brought in, and done better and all that kind of stuff, and just not him, just not Finn. Just to be like, yep, we're making a statement.
So we got a question from Maybot saying, does his talent transfer well to the big screen? I'm assuming we're talking about Matt Murdock / Charlie Cox. I will say yes, considering I think he started in the big screen. He what was that movie? Oh shit. Oh, Stardust. He was in Stardust, and he was in The Theory of Everything. So we know that he is a movie starlet. Oh wow, we're getting so many comments this week. Anyway, so so Maybot is saying Jessica Jones was bad. Luke Cage season 1 only. Yeah, season 2 had its moments, but yeah, let's pretend Iron Fist didn't happen. We already there, and the Punisher. I'm okay. I'm with you on this, Maybot. I'm with you on this. Anyway, so I'm excited for this Echo series only because oh, sweet Jesus, yes, give us more of this. I miss him so much. Anyway, how about you, T? How about you, Darcy? T? Let's start with you. What are your hopes and dreams for the Echo series / Daredevil and rumors?
Well, I have no idea who this Echo person is, so I'm not at all excited for it until I see it, and then I can make my own. I can formulate my own opinion then. To see Daredevil back though, like I'm super amped for that. But it's also bittersweet because I really wanted season 4 because that cliffhanger that they left us with, like hold on, let me see if I have the photo here.
Are you talking about Bullseye?
Bullseye. I wanted to see Bullseye come back.
He still might
in the legit yeah. So if they continue on from where they left off to some capacity, and we get Bullseye back, the full-fledged suit and everything, like that's got me excited, man.
That is a horrible image.
Yeah, but I want to I want to see more of this because season 3 was absolutely amazing, and I had a super great time with that. So I would love to see more of that if possible. But in terms of the Echo series, because I'm not familiar with the character at all. It doesn't really do anything for me. So yeah, I don't know. But it's nice. I did hear that Vincent D'Onofrio is coming back, potentially. So that's gonna be great because he was an amazing Kingpin. So that'd be good to see.
Darce?
So jumping in on the Echo series part with taxes, like I was Googling this before because I don't know anything about Echo. And all I got from it was that the actress playing Echo is actually deaf and her character's supposed to be deaf. So that was intriguing to me because of the fact that I'm like, okay, so you basically are having a character that's the opposite but similar to Deadpool in terms of disabilities and abilities that come out of that. So I don't know, that to me just seems like, okay. That's why you call them the Echo. Okay, I get it. They have echolocation. They can't hear it, but that's how they use it. But he has sight powers and he can't see. So I mean, that's the whole idea, right? So I think that'll be interesting. I mean, I'm normally if I would say, okay, you have the blind character, now you have the deaf character. Okay, that seems a little bit like, ham-fisted. But given what I know Marvel's done, and the fact that Kevin Feige, wants to make sure things go in the right direction, and yet still respect and bring back the characters, the actors that we love, all but one, then I'm all in. So yeah, that's it for me. I feel like that's the finish. I'm trying to find a way to just throw his name in there. Wait, how do you say in French when something's final?
Finn.
Yeah, it's just Finn. Okay. I thought it was like Finet or something like that. But yeah, no, it's just like
On that note, moving on. So, okay, our last bit of geeky news for the week is the teaser trailer for the upcoming HBO House of the Dragon series. It's basically a spin-off of Game of Thrones. It's I think it's going to be based off the book that recently came out called Fire and Blood from George R. Martin. I think he also was. I think he's one of the creators or like whatever executive producers or whatever. Not that proves it'll be good. Nonetheless, it has been announced and the trailer came out, and maybe I'm still bitter from the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones, but I wasn't having it. Yes, it got Matt Smith in it. Yes, they like are doing a couple of things that are a little bit more accurate to the book, and also they have a completed book that they could probably like a completed story that they can actually adapt. So that's also a positive. Nonetheless, I'm just not there. Again, because I've been hurt and having my heart broken, I apparently am very resentful and or jaded, as Maybot would say. How about you, Darcy? What are you thinking?
So, and thank you, Maybot. Finale. That's the word I was looking for. But so let's put it this way. If I'm trying to think of a movie I was like, or a show I've been really super excited for, that's like a 10 out of 10 for me. But I'm a 2 out of a 10 right now for this damn show. Okay. And let me give you the 2 points. It's not written by the 2 guys who wrote the last 2 seasons.
They
Other
wrote
than that,
they wrote the rest of the series.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, no. You mean this series?
Oh, you mean this series? Sorry. I thought you were talking about the last one. No. I think the writers for this one. I don't know who wrote this actually. Let me look that up
Yeah.
while you.
But like, regardless, I know those guys wrote more or all or whatever in the rest of the original show. But the point more being that like they, as long as those guys aren't anywhere near it, gives me a chance to want to give this a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not at all excited. I will say that the trailer looked like it was 100% perfectly in the universe. Like, it didn't look like it was just like it's been a few years and they've totally lost touch with how to do a Game of Thrones visually. But yeah, it better not be the same writers from the last show.
Okay, so we have a bit of a problem. I just looked at the creator slash executive producer slash main guy in charge of the show. It's the guy who, oh dear Lord, he wrote Hercules and Rampage.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna say that because I did Google it. Yeah. So
That's
give
horrifying.
it a. So I'm 1 out of 10. Yeah. I did look that up. I forgot. I was just like so focused on the fact that I'm like, it better not be the writers from the last show who phoned it in hard. But yeah, this guy has like no track record. So yeah, overall, like it looks like it's part of the same universe, but I got no faith.
How about you, T? What are your thoughts?
I don't care. Honestly, when you put it in the agenda, I thought it was going to be something relating to like Bruce Lee or some shit. So
Yeah.
I got semi excited, and then I clicked the link, and it was like actual dragons. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, this is some Game of Thrones shit. I'm out. So yeah, moving on. You could miss me with this shit. This ain't the show for me. It's not my show.
Miss it. Miss me with
All
all
right,
that
well,
bullshit.
I'll just go through the comments from Nudge. He's like, they haven't healed the wound. Very true. Need a magic spell or time travel and retcon the last season. I'm gonna say last 2 seasons, but nonetheless,
They could have brought it around in that last season, but they didn't. They could have. They could have. Like, there was room. There was like what 6-8 episodes to bring it around. By the way, that picture with him like lying with a sword down. That, I mean, I know it's television and like, you know, when you film it looks better, but that just looks like like some bullshit the 2 kids do. Like, yo, go get the camera. We gonna make a movie.
All right. Well, on that note, moving on. So we're going to get to the meat of this episode. We are going to discuss and review the movie Venom: Let There Be Carnage. Now, if you haven't watched Venom, or if you're like, if by some miracle you actually want to watch Venom and are worried about spoilers, I would suggest you just like kind of like put the mute button until we go to the next topic. Or
What
just,
spoilers?
yeah, I know.
What spoilers?
Yeah.
Just how could you spoil this movie?
Umar, just get into it. Just let's go. Let's
All right,
go.
all right. Let's start. Let's talk about this movie because this movie was trash. This movie sucked, and I hated it. Sorry.
Tell them what you think. Don't hold back.
I was like, the only thing that kept me going through this movie was the fact that like I had to be there because I went to the theater. I paid for it. I was in the seat, and I could have left.
Man, there's lots of people. You could have pulled a white privilege card and just walked out. Okay, I'm just saying. You out here acting like that, like those $15 was like a ball and chain in that chair. Like, I couldn't leave. No, I'm stuck.
I just like, you have to like, honestly, I don't think it was meant to be a comedy, but if you think of it as a comedy, you can actually get through the movie. If you actually want to go into this movie thinking if you go into this movie thinking, you're going to have a problem with the film, because thought is not part of what the writers were trying to emulate at all in the script. Because if they were trying to show what every single person at every level of this film is terrible at their jobs, like you got prison guards who are like, what are they doing exactly? You got reporters, aka Eddie Brock, who, what is he doing? You got detectives that you're just like, what are you doing? Like, literally, no one was doing anything that they were supposed to be doing or doing it well. The only person who was doing it right was Carnage, who was a serial killer. At least he killed people. At least he hid bodies. He's doing his job. But everyone else, so what? So yeah, that was my feeling, and I'm almost stop talking about it because I'm starting to get angry. So
Umar, what's your number though? What's your number?
I mean, the only thing good about it, I can say it was better than the last one. So the last one I gave like a 3 out of 10. I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 10. Like, it passed because I thought of it as a comedy. Anyway,
Umar, don't read the comments.
Oh, come on.
Nudge, keep throwing stuff at Umar there for me, please. Just keep making him upset.
Yeah, it
Nudge.
outperformed. I heard it
Don't-
outperformed Shang-Chi in its opening weekend.
Please tell me that's a lie. Please tell me that's.
That's a
please
low
tell me
blow.
that's a lie.
Let me. I'm gonna go to
No, but-
movie
okay,
Mojo.
but-
Okay, I'm just gonna say this.
Small caveat though.
Okay,
granted,
Nudge said what I was gonna say, but yeah.
It was 90 minutes, so that means you can show it more times than Shang-Chi, right? Plus it's PG-13. I don't know what Shang-Chi was. I'm assuming maybe the same.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Nudge brought up the point. Like the reason why I gave it a 5 was because ordinarily it would have gotten a 4, but the mid-credit scene is the reason. So we'll talk about that later. But I got here tactics. What was your review?
Okay, so first of all, you guys ruined the post-credit scene for me. Both y'all.
What did
It's
I
your
do?
fault. And if we're not going to talk about it now, I'll get to it later.
Wait, hold up. How did I ruin the post credit scene when I saw the movie after both of you?
No. I'll explain why when we get to that part. But okay. So someone want to kick that guy out first before I continue?
Yeah, definitely. That's a troll.
Yeah. This ain't that kind of show, bro. But yeah, so I reluctantly give it a 5, but after sitting with it for a while, I think it's going down to a 4 for me because, like you said, Umar, this shit was a comedy, man. Like, and I went in, like, we're talking about Carnage. I consider Carnage the equivalent to the Joker of the Spider-Man universe. And I did not get that in this movie at all. In fact, by default, like by accident, Venom, I felt like killed, well, not by numbers, but we saw more kills happen from Venom than we did from Carnage. And that was only because he he took over. So basically the movie is like two friends have a disagreement throughout the entire movie because one friend made a promise in the last movie and didn't uphold his promise. So now the other friend is getting pissed off. Now the two can't cohabitat together. So the roommate kicks the other roommate out. He leaves, and then he goes and he's like partying it up and just like, you know, trying to find his place in the world. And then a big threat happens, and then these friends have to settle their differences fairly quickly for the greater good. That's the movie. Does that sound like a Marvel movie to you, or does that sound like some teeny bopper shit from like the 90s? Because that's the movie I saw. So
yeah,
I went in very disappointed because I'm like, for one, in the first movie, the very ending scene of the first movie was Eddie Brock saying, "Okay, we'll only eat bad guys, right? This is our deal that we're going to make from this point on. We don't eat innocent people. We're only going to eat very evil people." And Venom's like, "All right, cool, yeah, we'll be the lethal protectors, yada yada yada." So I'm going into this movie thinking that's what they're going to play up. Nope, we don't get that at all. We get Eddie Brock bickering with Venom saying, "No, we can't eat anybody." And I'm like, wait, what? So y'all are just going to go through the entire movie and you're not going to fight anyone other than Carnage. And you only meet Carnage in the last 30 minutes of the movie. What kind of fucking shit is that? Like, and then so are we going to wait till Darcy gives his opinion, or are we going to get right into the post-credit scene? Because this movie
do it.
Don't wait for my opinion.
Okay, no, okay. I won't get into that yet. I'm just gonna say that the movie was not good. There was only one real fight scene, and that was the fight scene between Venom and Carnage. And I didn't believe, like, I like Woody Harrelson, but I didn't buy into his Cletus Cassidy. The other girl, Shriek, was fucking useless, trash, and like I feel like they purposely cut shit out just to make it shorter for what? There is like they had a lot of editing problems where, like, I remember in one scene, Shriek is looking for Eddie's girlfriend. She breaks into the house, realizes that she's not there, and she's like, "Okay, I know where to find her." And then the next shot, she shows up where Eddie's girlfriend is, just like that. And I'm like, okay, like, how did you get from one part of San Francisco to the other part? How did you even find this girl? Like, not like the editing just didn't make any sense. And then yeah, the battle between Venom and Carnage was lackluster at best. In fact, we're talking about Carnage. Carnage is supposed to be 10 times stronger than Venom. And the fight between Venom and Riot in the first one was far more brutal than it was between Venom and Carnage. And this is Carnage we're talking about. Carnage. So yeah, I walked out disappointed, man. This there's no way you can ruin this movie. I basically gave you the plot, and you could have pieced that together from the trailer. Like, everything that you saw in the trailer is pretty much how the movie is, minus the post-credit scene, which we'll get to later. But yeah, this movie was fucking trash. Don't spend your money on it.
Honestly, bro, go for the post-credit scene, because like Darcy and I were ready.
Yeah. So I'm gonna jump into mine here. I immediately at the end of the movie was like, yeah, that was a 5 out of 10 for me, which came up from a 3 out of 10 from the first film. Okay. I feel like I want to say guilty in that I enjoyed myself in this film, but not for the superhero part of the film. I enjoyed this, like I had moments where I was like, oh, I'm laughing and I'm enjoying myself as this was a cheap comedy. Right? Like, you know, like those cheap comedies where they clearly like film a whole lot of ad lib and they just edit together, like Tex said, with poor editing, and some stuff doesn't quite work, but they're just here to make you laugh. So you just don't really, you know, you're just glad that you got out of the house. Like, it sucked. and I just enjoyed the comedy. Like there was stuff where I was like enjoying laughing at stupid stuff that Venom is doing, but I'm knowing in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is not what we should be watching right now. I'm laughing at this like funny, stupid, ah ha ha, like I can't make breakfast properly, ha ha ha, I'm in a club, whatever. It's dumb. And I just like, I don't know, I just maybe shut myself off. Also, here's some interesting feedback, okay? So I went with my partner and her younger niece and nephew, okay? Let me give you ages, okay? So my partner and I are in our 30s, right? And then the niece and nephew are 14 and 10, okay? 10 female, 14 male, okay? So I asked everybody what was their initial gut reaction of their rating, okay? My partner gave it a 7, I think is what she said. Now she enjoys this. Was it 7 with her? 7, 6? Let's say it's between 5.
I think you said 7 when in
Yeah.
the chat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So she gave it a 7, and she felt that there were problems with it. She enjoyed herself, but I would say that she's going in to this, taking it in like a B/C level Netflix action film. You know what I mean? Like you know when you just like watch a cheap whatever martial arts film on Netflix and you're like, ah, cool. She loves that kind of stuff. So that's where I think she was putting that at. The 14-year-old male gave it like a 2 or 3, maybe a 4, something like that. And I'm like, but why'd you think that? He's like, it's trash. Like he's like everything we're saying, he said the same thing. And then the 10-year-old female who I know is like barely paying attention to films was like, oh, it was cool, right? Because it was like she just bought into like cool visuals, right? Like
Maybe
that's
it's
why
like
I
they're
did
in the
so
movie
well.
theater for the first time.
And that's why I did so
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, it was like it's made and marketed to people who are going to be like, that's cool to look at. And that's
it was visually it was great. Like Carnage looks awesome. Like I'll give it. No, for me he looked great.
It was too dark.
I mean I liked it. I liked how he looked, but
Okay.
I mean that's as much as I can say in terms of what I enjoyed about the movie.
Yeah.
Shall we
But I
talk
will
about
say
the-
Venom does not look as intimidating as the video game one. Like I liked this Venom look, and then I saw the video game that they're going to drop with Venom. I'm like, and how the eyes wrap around the whole head, and I'm like, yeah, this one looks like cheap now.
But it's not but it's not just the look, it's like how he acts too. Like I don't remember him acting like this in the animated series. He was very menacing and scary. Like you felt his presence whenever he showed up and like surprised Spider-Man. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was the villain then. Here he's the hero. That's the problem.
Yeah, 100%. Like you can't be menacing and be the main character, right? Like you can't be like walking around, oh, friggin' movie, like you know, like intimidating. You're like,
no,
that would be a boring ass movie.
But I mean, that's the problem. Even when when he's the hero and he's fighting villains, it's like I would have still liked him to still hold on to some of that menacing, imposing behavior that he had, but he lost all of that. It's like they neutered the character down.
Yes, that's exactly like literally everything about him has been neutered.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the mid-credit scene.
Okay. So here's why you motherfuckers ruined this shit for me. So the last time we talked about it. So granted, by the time the mid-credit scene rolled around, I was already fucking done with this movie. I was ready to like dip out, but I'm like, oh, there's a post-credit scene coming. So let's chill out for a bit because I went and watched it with my partner as well. And so her and I are sitting there, and the scene plays, and the whole time, so like even like while before the post credits and during the movie, I'm like, oh, we're gonna see it, because y'all got me hyped. Because I initially was like, it's gonna be Tom Holland, and then Umar had to open his big ass mouth and be like, I don't think it's going to be Tom Holland. I think it's going to be Andrew Garfield. And it flipped my whole perspective. I'm like, oh no, you know what? You're probably right. I'm excited. I'm hyped. I'm like, yo, it's going to be Andrew Garfield. And then we see a fucking bullshit news bulletin that we've already seen of Tom Holland being wanted for killing Mysterio. And I'm like, that's it? Fucking Umar ruined it for me. Damn. Fucking ruined it. I would have been fine if it was Tom Holland if we didn't have that conversation, and then you had to just put that in my head, like Andrew Garfield's gonna show up in this movie. Jimmy said, "Fuck Jimmy, fuck you, and fuck Jimmy, man." Jimmy said that I'm never gonna buy into anything Jimmy says now. He ruins everything.
Okay, let's not go after my boy Jimmy.
No,
'Cause,
fuck him, man. He ruined it.
Yo, I'm gonna let you hold that anger over there for a second, but I gotta say, like, in the moment of watching that post credit scene, I was like, oh, okay, that's like this is interesting. Like, where's it gonna go? And then immediately after leaving theater, I'm like, I don't think I want to see this Venom
Nah.
at all with this. Like, it's not even like I want to see Venom, but I'm like, okay, so he's gonna go there, then his chest is finally gonna turn into a Spider-Man thing because he's gonna turn into like he's gonna have a thing for him. But I'm like, I'm not liking the acting I'm getting. I'm sorry, like Tom Hardy, but like I'm not liking it. Now, mostly it's probably not your direction, but like I just don't like this character. So how is this character gonna turn into the menacing character? Right? Like he spent 2 films arguing with him to like be a good person. Now he's gonna want to like Tom Hardy's character is gonna want to be like, yep, let's kill Spider-Man. Like that doesn't even make sense. So now they're gonna be what, buddy? Like, no, I've no interest in seeing
Yeah,
these
it's like,
worlds collide.
what's their angle now? Like, they can't go back to the old way and be like, oh, they're gonna be like built, like they're gonna be enemies. Like, that's not gonna make any sense
Yeah.
now.
Even if it was Andrew Garfield, like the only way you can logically kind of make him turn into a villain is if like, see, with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, I could maybe make a story out of it because Andrew Garfield's is proven that he's not been perfect, right? He lost his woman trying to save her. So he could have another scenario where he tries to save something and something goes wrong and that turns Venom into a villain, right? Like his ex girl, whatever, right? Like she dies, and which would be fantastic because I hate her character. My partner hadn't seen the first one. She was like, that was a horror. She hated her. She hated her. It was like so bland. I'm like, yeah. So she dies, thank God, and then he turns into a villain. Cool, but I don't think you can do it with Tom Holland's because it's just like, it's just, I don't know. It doesn't feel right for that universe. So, yeah.
Well, we've got tons of comments in the comment section, which is so nice to say. Okay, so let's say that Ron R says, I think it depends on what your expectations are when going into a movie, and also, are you just going for mindless fun or something else? I had low expectations for this movie, and I still was very unhappy. Nudge is like, does it meet polite anti-expectations? And also Ron R is saying that you expect more carnage, especially when it's his name in the title. And I think the Tactics, you said something similar to that, didn't you?
Yeah, like like Venom killed more people on screen than Carnage did. Like any death that we saw that Carnage did was in that fucking little tornado thing that he created. I didn't even know Carnage could do that.
Yeah, he killed he just killed like prison guards.
And that was like a lackluster in killing at
Yeah.
best. It was like,
also, how was he able to hack into government files with his symbiote? When did that happen?
I know the symbiotes all of a sudden develop like just and his twirling thing. I mean, I don't know Carnage well enough, but that felt stretchy for me. Like when he turned like a tornado thing, I'm like,
that was some bullshit, man. I was like,
yeah,
some bullshit.
I gotta confirm with Umar on this because I don't think that's an actual thing.
Yeah, like I'm like, no. It just feels like a weird, illogical thing for a character, like for the powers and the way that his body works and stuff like that. I'm like, why would he need to do that?
He doesn't need to do that. Like the most you could say is he would spin himself around and let like the things kill people. But anyway,
well,
so,
it was a comedy, right? It was like, it reminded me of like Jim Carrey's The Mask when that happened. I was like, I'm checked out now. Like, what is this shit?
But also, like, I don't, and Maybot brought it up herself. I don't even like Tom Hardy's. Like, I like Tom Hardy as an actor. I don't like his portrayal of Venom / like Eddie Brock. It's not either of the characters that I've read about or seen in animated stuff. This isn't Venom. This isn't Carnage. Nothing about this movie and the last movie made me in any way know the character or see the characters I've been waiting to see. And so, therefore, what you were saying, what you both are saying, when it comes time for Tom Holland to interact with this Venom, what are we going to get that's in any way good?
I feel like it's like when Tom Holland introduced him, it's like now that we're gonna get introduced to who Eddie Brock is as an audience, like, oh, that's who you are, because we needed this guy to meet you first to find that out 3 movies in.
Yeah, I'm anyway. So you know what? I am done talking about this topic. How are you guys doing?
Move on. I'm done.
Do you have something to say?
Nah, not at all.
Okay.
It was trash.
That's a brilliant line for us to end off.
Mhm.
Moving on. So we are going to now discuss What If. The season finale for What If came out on Wednesday. So spoiler warning, we're going to talk about it and we're going to talk about the whole season. So I've got to ask, Tactics, what do you think of the season finale and what do you think of the series as a whole?
It as a whole, I would say it was pretty solid. It started off kind of slow for me. Like it was like kind of like up and down like a roller coaster. Some episodes hit, some didn't. And like I said in previous episodes of the podcast, I didn't like that nothing really ever connected. But then as you know, the story started to progress, we started to kind of see everything kind of interweave together. So that was really cool, especially how they ended off with the last two episodes, because that really caught me by surprise, where it was like, okay, Ultron is like the ultimate force here. He's got the Infinity Stones, like this. Okay, this is like top-notch shit now. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of things. One thing that I did notice though, like, yo, they don't give a fuck about Iron Man at all in this. Like he dies in every episode, and then even in this final episode, they're like, nah, bro, fall back. We don't need you.
Sit down, bro. We're not talking to you.
I was like, damn, yo,
Yeah.
got no shine in this series at all, man. Like,
And Cap too. I mean, Cap got most of Cap's shine came as a zombie.
No, yeah, but then he got the mecha suit in the first episode.
Oh yeah,
so like,
yeah.
a little bit of
That's true.
shine. The one time that like Iron Man got, or just not even Iron Man, Tony Stark got like a lot of screen time, didn't even have his suit. He was just a regular guy, and then got killed by Killmonger. So it was like, yo, is Marvel beefing with Tony's or what's his name, Robert Downey Jr. or something? I know that he's not voicing him, but yeah, I was just surprised that they didn't use him more in this. But I guess because of alternate universes, he was like kind of the pivotal character in the MCU that we're familiar with, and so they kind of, I guess, wanted to give other people the chance to shine. So yeah, but overall, like I really enjoyed it. I like how it kind of all tied up at the end. The villain was dope. Obviously, you can't go wrong with Ultron. You can go all wrong with Ultron, but in this they did not go wrong. So I really enjoyed it. I like how they ended it too with Black Widow. So Umar, I got a question. Maybe Darcy, maybe you can answer this too. So when the Watcher restored everything, right at the end, and he brought her to the universe where they were missing a Black Widow, is that the universe that we've been watching within the MCU? Oh, that's a different universe.
That's the Ant-Man kills everybody universe.
Not Scott, right? The other
no. It was Michael Douglas. Like, remember when he was like assassinating all the members of that one?
Okay, got you. Okay. Because I like that kind of went over my head a little bit, and I was like, oh wait, does that mean that they can kind of bring her back somehow, kind of thing? But yeah, with the way the whole Disney versus Scarlet thing went, I don't see that happening. But yeah, to wrap it up, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I like how it ended. In terms of my rating, I'd probably give it like as a whole, maybe 7.5.
And the last episode?
The rating for the last episode, I'd give it. It's hard because I feel like you need to include the previous episode in there too as a collective. So as a collective, based off of those last two, I'd probably give it a solid 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Darcy, what are your thoughts of the last episode and the series as a whole?
I'm gonna give, first off, just rating of the gate series and last episode 8 out of 10. Just solid all around. I'm really glad that they everything got interconnected by the end, because that wasn't really important for me, that it wasn't going to just be a bunch of random stories and not build anything. I got a tear jerk at the end because of like how just important Black Widow's character was, and how it just like it made me think of how important she's always been in everything, and how much, like, I remember, like, she's one of the very first that got introduced too. right?
Mhm.
Her first introduction was like her
Iron,
meeting Tony Stark,
Iron Man
right?
2, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, and like, I'm like, it just makes me sad about what's going on. Oh, like how DC, or not DC, Disney, but I mean, feels similar, has treated her with a contract, and and it made me think like same thing as tax. Like, could she come back? They kind of like writing something that kind of like could go there. But then I'm like, well, if they were doing that, they kind of screwed the pooch with that one. So like that ain't gonna happen. But overall, I really enjoyed myself with the series. It had some downs, but a lot of ups, and a lot of the episodes I didn't think were gonna be big for me were the ones that were big for me. And yeah, and also, yeah, Killmonger. Yeah, you
Mhm.
can't trust him. It's funny. I was watching something right after that with like Michael B. Jordan, which is like a commercial he's in for like the NBA, and I was like, he's a good actor, because I don't feel in this moment the disdain I felt when I watched him as Killmonger. Like I'm like. I'm watching that commercial. I'm like, you are a trustworthy person. I believe everything you're saying right now. And then when I see him kill him, I'm like, don't trust that motherfucker. Don't trust him. So I was just like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I enjoyed myself. I look forward to seeing like a What If 2 now, because I think there was a rumor that was going to happen.
Yeah, no,
And I
it's
look,
been renewed for second season, and Kevin Feige and a few other people have said that it's going to draw on phase 4. So we're
nice.
gonna get like Shang-Chi what ifs and that sort of stuff, and Captain Marvel and so on.
Yeah, and I'm glad like the Watcher is cool. Like I look forward to seeing how like what comes next and how this interplays, because it feels like this interplays into the movies. So yeah, yeah, let's go. I'm good.
Yeah, for me, I would say that I found the series as a whole to be like a 7 out of 10, and no, I'm gonna say 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. And the final episode, like an 8.5 out of 10. I think the second last episode was a 9 for me, but like the last one was an 8.5. I really enjoyed this. Was like an event. This kind of felt like a smaller scale version of Endgame. In the sense of like I kind of wish I'd seen this in the big screen, because like yeah, it was a little rushed because it's like a half hour, but like the stakes were a lot of fun. The stakes were also like they were like, we're doing animated, so we can do whatever the hell we want. And like the fight sequences were awesome. Seeing Doctor Strange and all the others like going up against an Ultron with the Infinity Stones and like stealing the Infinity Stones and destroying them, and then like getting Killmonger. The one thing I will say is, how the hell did Killmonger hold all like 6 of them? Because like
Yeah,
yeah, even as like with like the Black Panther power, yeah, he shouldn't be able to do that. So nonetheless, I was just kind of like, but outside of that, I really enjoyed myself, and yeah, I had a great time with this episode. As a series as a whole, we've talked about how it's like kind of like up and down for me. I felt that this was a great last performance for like to see Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa. This was a great send off. Like I like he had great episodes beforehand, which I really loved, but it was good to see him kind of like win the day and kind of be like a big brother to like the future Star-Lord. But yeah, I just had a great time with this, and I didn't expect to.
Yeah, and like you said, the fact that they have such a short amount of time to tell these stories is a true testament to how tight knit the writing is, which I really appreciated, because the way that they were able to flesh everything out in not only 30 minutes per episode, but also like a nine episode series, right? Like
Yeah.
that's super impressive. So yeah, my hat's off to Marvel for sure.
Yeah. And like the next thing we're gonna watch is Hawkeye. So, unfortunately, we have some amazing comments in the comment section, but we're kind of running low on time, so we're going to have to move on to our next topic. Moving on to something that has taken the internet and the world by storm.
yeah.
It is, of course, the thing that everyone's talking about. I myself have received, I think, 5 text messages this entire week of people just asking, "Dude, have you watched Squid Game?" Now, I will say that the individual who convinced me to watch the series, and who I'm eternally grateful for getting me to watch the series, is none other than my bro Tactics, who while we were working out and he was training me on how to like improve my mental and physical health, he was like, bro. You sorry, man.
Creep up, yo. He came from underneath, yo.
I was like, I feel a little left out there, so I was just like, you know what? Let me get a latent
Nah,
dab
you get
in.
some love too, bro. You get some love.
I mean, I didn't watch it first.
That's true.
That's true. So anyway, I have binged the first 8 episodes. I think the first 7 episodes. I think Tactics, you've done the first 6.
First 6, yeah.
Yeah, and Darcy, as he says, has completed the first season. So we're going to only do spoilers up until episode 6. But I will say that this show was not anything. Well, first of all, it wasn't even on my radar. Then when it was on my radar, I kind of didn't know what to expect. And then I started watching it, and I was like, okay, I gotta watch this scene, man. This episode. Just anyway. So nonetheless, I'll just review. I was blown away. I am continually blown away. I'm 7 episodes in, and I can't stop. Like, the only reason I stopped watching it is because we had to do this podcast, and like I had to set an alarm for this because I was like, I'm going to miss the podcast. I'll just be watching, and then I'll get like messages, and I'll be like, I put my phone on silent and just like watching this stuff. This is some intense shit. This is not for the faint of heart. This is not for kids either. I thought it was going to be like something without blood, and then I was like, okay. So as I'm only 7 episodes in, I will say I only have 2 more episodes left, but I will say as present, I'm going to give this like a 10. I see no faults with this. But then again, I'm kind of like in the midst of it, and also I'm like I'm like the guys in the Squid Games. I'm just too like stressed out to be able to create RC. I know you've watched all of it, but up until episode 6, what are your thoughts?
Fucking love this show. Episode 6, episode everything. I love this show. This show is the same writing tone as a good anime, but it perfectly fits live action. And I would say, like, if you ever wanted to like get somebody like into an anime, and they'd seen this because everyone's seeing this because it's so popular right now, then the next anime off of this I think would be The Promised Neverland, because there's a similar level of like intrigue of the unknown of what's happening in the context of the show around you, like you're just trying to understand, and 100%. This has that. But yeah, this perfectly this is, I love Korean thriller horror genre, which this is, because they do this reminded me of their version, well, not their version, they were the originators of the Hunger Game movies, like so they did their Hunger Games before the Hunger Games, and it was basically like you take all of these teenagers, you stick them on an island, and they have to fight to the death, and it's like 100 teenagers, but yeah, battle royale, and it was just like, it was so visceral and so brutal and intense and had emotional moments. And this is like the exact same thing with a different premise, but it feels so much alike. It's what I miss. Sorry.
I just looked at the comments and I saw Nudge's comments.
I saw that too, yeah.
The biggest takeaway from the series is that Pakistani bros are the best. And I'm like, yes.
True.
This
poor
show,
guy though, man.
This show represented Pakistani people, and this show did what I want like Miss Marvel to do. Like, let's just show us as not like this terrorist, man. But anyway,
just really naive motherfuckers. Spoiler,
naive but sweet.
He is sweet. He is amazing, but he is so naive. It hurt my soul to be like, I just watch him. I'm like, you gonna get played like this, eh? You really gonna believe this, motherfucker? Eh? You in a game 1-on-1 for your life, and he's like, I got a plan that will get us both out of it. It's like, no, he's got a plan to get himself out of this. The man is a freaking banker. Okay,
like, he's got the IQ of a rock. Pun intended, bro. Like the fact that you fell for that shit, I was like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
He wanted to believe in his friend.
Oh, it was that dude's been snaky from day one, man.
Oh yeah,
people need to wake up and start paying more attention to that dude, man, because he's a fucking snake.
So
He
one thing I
he
love.
needs a tattoo, the face tattoo on him, yo.
True. Thing I love about this show though is like, so like everyone's like red light, green light, and you're like, okay, what's up? And I love how the show is like abruptly like just how the character was. It's like so is this gonna be oh god, oh shit, everyone's dying, oh shit, oh goddamn, oh damn, fuck.
Okay. I gotta say, first of all, they changed the parameters of who is considered moving because like some of those people were getting shot, and I was like, I didn't see them move.
Well, the thing actually that I totally get from that is that so it's a visual, like they weren't moving. How to put this? It was very minute movements that they were
Yeah.
looking for, right? But the thing is, it's still just a robot scanning everything. So people were able to, if they weren't, if somebody else was getting shot, or you're slightly behind somebody, or it was looking left and you were on the right, you just might have got through. So it wasn't a perfect system, which also made it more intense because if it was completely perfect, then the actors wouldn't be like, they would really have to like film stuff and then just freeze the frame because people move, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was intense. The one where you guys showed the tug of war, the second I saw the structure, like, this is tug of war.
Yeah.
Like,
Actually, when the snake dude was like, we need to get the heaviest guys, I was like, is that tug of war? Because fuck. And then like I was like, shit.
You know what I was because I learned this about a tug of war, but they didn't have enough female characters for this to come through. If you had an all female or a majorly female team, you're actually at a huge disadvantage because a lot of people don't realize is that women are built with stronger lower bodies than men are by birth. And so I learned this when I went to like a family barbecue a few years back, and it was men versus women tug of war, and we got handed to us, and we had some big men, and it was like because you have to get low and you have to lock in your legs, and which is like what women are naturally built for, right? And so men were just all here using their arms, and it was just like it was like no. So I was like, are they going to represent that? No, there's just not enough women in this literal game to represent it.
That's why in the game they leaned all the way back, right, to even out their center of mass. Because like men are generally more top heavy than women are, right? So and their team was like majority. Was it? No, they had more women.
Women.
Yeah. So
T, how about you, man? Like, what are your thoughts?
Oh man, I love the show. Like I've been meaning to watch it for a while, and then last week Darcy and I were talking about it, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and watch it. Like, but normally, like, I don't have a lot of time during the week. And so the only time I have is like during the weekend, and that's the time when I usually spend with my girl. But she's not really a TV series type of person unless it's like not Law and Order. She likes the more CSI, like those homicidal stuff kind of thing.
It's not far off.
yeah, but like she doesn't like to stay committed to series for too long. But I just kind of put it on and was like hoping it would like catch her attention. And like anything that's like along this line of like being very, very like sick and twisted kind of thing, she's all in, right? So as soon as we turned it on, she's like, "Whoa, what is this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Squid Game." And she's like, "Oh, I heard about this. Are we really gonna do like a whole TV series like right now?" And I'm like, "Let's just give it a shot. Let's see how the night goes, right?" And we ended up watching like 5 episodes straight, like, and then we then on Saturday we went to go watch Venom. Fucking disappointed. And we're like, yo, let's rush back home to get and finish watching the rest of the show. So we ran back home. We started watching it, and like, but anyway, like my opinion on it is like, I love this show, man. This show is so I think I'm with you, Umar. I think I give it a 10 so far. I'm not complete I haven't completed the series yet, but I just love the character development. Like these Korean films and these TV series, man, like they're really killing it right now. Well, they've been killing it for a while, like with Old Boy. Was Old Boy Korean, Darcy?
Yeah.
Did you ever see it? Yeah, so Old
No,
Boy,
I haven't, but it was
Old Boy, Parasite. Yeah, man, they're killing the game. So
what is it? Battle Royale. There's also, what was the zombie one that they did? The Train to Busan.
Oh yeah. So yeah, man, they their storylines are so like rich. And I agree with you in the anime comparison. That's a really great comparison because the storyline is so much richer. Like they take out all the fluff and they really focus in on the character development, which is what I really appreciate, because you're so drawn into these characters and you're like, oh, I don't want any of these people to die, or like you're trying to guess who's on their last lifeline kind of thing, right? So it's really interesting, and the whole concept behind it, it's not over the top gratuitous, but like the suspense is still there. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be super gory and things of that nature. It's like I thought like when the first game, it was gonna be some like crazy Saw type shit, right? Where it was like the girl was gonna shoot lasers or something really over the top was gonna happen, and it was simply just people just getting sniped one by one. And I was like, okay, that's still effective. That still works. So yeah, man, I love the show. My only concern is, and Darcy, I know you know this now, having completed the series. Like, are we still gonna stay with these characters, or is it gonna be like season 2? We get introduced to another set of characters, and it's like another game kind of thing, and we're basically just revisiting the same trope over and over again, or is it going to be a continuation of what has already been established in the first season? So I'm like, I don't know if I want to have just a retelling or a rehash of the first season. I would want them to continue, but then do they kind of lose their spunk if they continue and not really focus on what part of what's been making this series so exciting and enticing? So I'm a little torn on that right now.
So I'm just gonna attend to some comments in this session. So like Nudge was like, the only fault is capitalism. Actually, I hadn't even noticed that. It's like heavily criticizing capitalism. It's like almost all their problems are a result of that. My biggest takeaway from the series is that, I mentioned that part. And then, so Maybot actually said something that I find absolutely fascinating. Hand DC over to Korean writers. Hell to the fucking yes. Like Korean and Japanese writers. Yes. Just give it to them. I'll be happy with that. And then that had oh wait, I guess it did. Never mind. Husband material, himbo. I'm assuming we're talking about the Pakistani brother. For me. The show ends with Bran becoming the king and winning the Game of Thrones. Thank you, Nudge. And then Battle Royale is Japanese. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Clearly, because I just got corrected. Thank you.
Thank you, Maybot. I will say that, like, in terms of this series, I really appreciated the second episode because, like, at first I was like, "Oh, are they slowing things down?" And I was like, I found the fact that they do give choices, and the psychological control measures are really good. Like, they would fuck with me. And I would still be the one like hopefully I would never get to the position where like I would want to like get slapped. Dude, that slap thing was hilarious. I was just like every time like playing from the first episode, just getting slapped over and over, and the fact that this guy slapped 456 people multiple times, and I'm just like,
yeah. I actually feel like it was he was one of the people doing it. He wasn't the only one doing it.
Fair.
He wasn't the only recruiter.
Yeah. Nonetheless, if he was the guy, I would be like, that would be hysterical. Anyway, the psychological control measures are insane, and just like you need to know where all these people are coming from, and we got that from episode 2. Like, because of episode 2, I get why everyone's still playing the game. I get why they're doing it, because like in the first episode, I'm like, yo, if you can vote to get out of there, this like, dude, like, vote out and everyone be done with it. But the fact that they got people to come back, and they got like 93% of the people who survived to come back, and that's all because of mental manipulation.
Well, you also got to think about it. The main character, like, if he doesn't show up with money, then he's losing an eye and his spleen or some shit.
Yeah.
So it's like that's a pretty big gamble right there.
Well, and that's the thing is they targeted those people. They targeted them to make sure they had the right people. And honestly, the second episode fixed a giant potential plot problem that a lot of shows, like especially American shows trying to do this, would have, which is, why don't you just escape? Why don't you just get out of here when it gets bad? It literally set it up so all these people literally were like, they actually wanted to be there and face the potential of death because it was already like that on the outside anyways.
Yeah.
Mhm.
First of all, no, Maybot, I do not like getting slapped. I actually find that to be a pet peeve. Anyway, going back to the point, I
Maybe I think you found a trigger. Thanks for letting me know that, by the way.
Oh, God damn it.
Slapbox champion 2021 coming up.
You're absolutely right, Darcy. Actually, I completely agree with you. There are multiple shows that you're just like, why are you still in this situation? And like,
Yeah.
I think CW does it the most, where you're like, why are they still there? Why are they doing this shit?
Why don't you just quit the job and stop acting? Oh wait, you did, and they got somebody else.
Yeah, so I just I can't. I'm actually hoping this is the only season. I don't want it to be a multiple season thing. I know they're probably like there are probably some like plot points or cliffhangers that were left off in the last episode. But to be honest, if they did like a one shot thing, that would both be like it keeps the validity of the show and doesn't allow for it to be get deteriorated as seasons go on. But also, even if, and I'm assuming because I don't know what the ending is, even if it's like a sad ending, then people are left with that. It will be like you will have that attached to you the whole time, and I kind of want that. So I really hope they don't fall through the second season.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, man. I feel like if this was like a movie, it'd be like perfect. I mean, I do like the fact that it's a series and you can kind of binge and build on it, and there's more time to flesh out the storyline. But I feel like it runs the risk of getting stale after a while. Like if they're
Yes.
especially if they go back and rehash the same things, like I was saying. So yeah, I'm on board with you on that, Umar. I think I do and I don't. I and again, I'm not. I haven't finished the series yet, so I'm saying this prematurely. But I don't know if I want a second season of this.
Darcy, as someone who has finished the season, what are your thoughts?
Well, looking at the comments there, if I'm saying it right, Nudge says, I'm saying it wrong, probably. Nudge. How am I supposed to nudge? Okay. You're gonna change your mind about the second season after you finish this season. That's what Nudge says. My personal feelings is I definitely went into this going like, yeah, I don't think this makes sense for a second season.
Yo, Maybot came out with some knowledge. The writer has been working on this for 10 years.
Damn. So
Yo, good for him.
I will say that like seeing the whole thing, I'm open for a second season. I went in going, hey, I don't want to repeat this, but how good the writing has been, how much the story is, and where they leave it off, I don't think that we're going into a rehash if we're going into a second season. Okay.
Interesting.
Like I'm not saying it's like they left it in a place where they could go either way. Right. That's me not trying to like spoil nothing, but I'm open now. Like they say tomorrow season 2's coming 2022. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm ready. That's how I feel.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see. So just following up, Nudge says, yeah, it wasn't picked up. So I'm assuming that this guy has been working on a script. It wasn't picked up for 10 years, and he just spent like the 10 years just making it better. And Maybot also says, so there's more to explore.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
it definitely feels like the writing is written to be a larger story, not a like American thing where like, here's a really cool premise. Cool. We got it done. We got the season done. Okay. What do we do now? Like, it doesn't feel like it's like, what do we do now? Okay, just do the same thing, but add this twist and add that twist and then add this twist. Now make it cool. No, it feels like it's written to be a bigger, thing.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think, oh man, I would have not survived the first one. That's for damn sure. There's no way. T, I think you can make it through.
Your body's pretty rigid, bro. You'd be all right in this game.
You're my trainer. You can't reveal those information to the public.
You're stiff as fuck. Yo, you be on the front line and be like, green light, red light.
The thing I worry about is not his rigidness, it's his speed. He'd be the one just in front of the line at the end, like, shit.
And you're tall too, so you can't hide behind no one, man. Like,
no, you guys would be hiding behind me.
You gotta stop, drop, and roll, bro.
There's like me, like I'm like, Umar, what is this move, man? Like, next time, stop normal.
Oh man,
this is how I run, man. This is how I run.
Yo, run like a normal person,
or run like the Flash.
Yo. Oh my god, that is the worst running ever. His feet don't even. It looks like he's gonna sprain his ankle all the damn time.
It don't make no sense. All right, well, that's it from my end. So, T, I'm gonna volley it back to you. Why are you focusing on me?
I reject your volley.
That's called a spike. Bring it right back down.
Wait, I thought this was a spike.
Yo,
I don't know sports. I don't know sports.
It's all good,
that's
man.
why I'm a
Okay.
big geek.
All right. I guess that's how we're ending it. That's how we're ending it. All right.
Yes.
Well, didn't you want to say like and subscribe and all that shit?
You have to do your usual ending.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Well, this has been another edition of the Geeky Bros podcast. I'm your boy Tactics.
Yo, just Darcy here.
And this is Big Geek Umar. Please like and subscribe. Live long and prosper, y'all. And thank you for commenting.
Green light.